name's Steve Hamshaw. You might recognize me from my MASWHA videos. I do MASWHA videos. I have a YouTube channel where I do a lot of Maui stuff, a lot of films on what's going on Maui, and some on Vegas too. So I'll put a link right here. That's probably where you've seen me. But now I got a new subject to talk about that I'm dead serious on. Okay, let me get in here and I'll show you exactly what it is. It's plugged in right down here at the bottom. It's where that, it's your computer where when they want to check your car, when you get a check engine light or something goes on, that's where it is. There. That's how big it is. I unplugged it and that's what it looks like. Small little unit. All right, now let me tell you about it. First of all, the reason I think this is very, very unsafe. Now remember, this is my opinion. I don't want to get sued over this. First of all, they only track you. The way it's set up, they track you on two different things. Well, really three different things. They don't care if you do 130 miles an hour in a school zone. They don't care if you do 5 miles an hour down the freeway. They don't care if you back up all the way where you're going. They don't care if you go around a corner on two wheels at 90 miles an hour. That don't make it no difference. Weave in and out of traffic all you want. They don't care. The three things they're concerned about is one, driving at night, I think between midnight and 4 a.m. You get a ding for that. The other things are stopping too fast and accelerating too fast. Only thing they seem to care about. So, I've been a really good driver all my life. I had, I think, one ticket back when I was 18 and one warning ticket when I was like 22. That's all. I've never had an accident. I've been in an accident, but I've never had an accident that was my fault. I've always been a real cautious, safe driver until I got this. Since I've had this, I bet I've ran 5, 8 red lights, maybe more. I know I've ran 30 or 40 yellow lights when they turn red. And for the reason of that is, when I first got this, I did get my first ding. I slammed on my brakes because a car pulled, we were all slowing down and a car pulled in front of me and I had to slam on my brakes. I never skidded, but I hit the brakes. Got a ding. All right. Not my fault, but I got a ding. You start off at 25% discount. My discount went right down to 12%. I'm thinking, oh, great. And after that, I started driving real cautious and making sure. Stopped at a yellow light, and I stopped way in time. And I'm talking about, I slowed down just like anybody would normally. Got a ding for it. It says something like I stopped between going 32 miles an hour and 16 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour, something like that, in 3-4 seconds. Well, I've tried it. Try to stop slower than that. Take 5 or 6 seconds to stop 11 miles an hour or 8 miles an hour, whatever it was. You can't do it. It'd be impossible. Nobody does it. So I start getting these dings. So then I started thinking, oh, great. Because I heard, now I don't know if this part's true or not, but I did hear that if you get a lot of dings, a lot more than they think you're supposed to, and you go all the way down to 0, they can start charging you even more than your original was. I'm not sure if that's true, but I have read some posts on that. But I didn't want to take any chances. So I started, if it turned yellow, and I knew I could stop, I just floor it, go through the yellows. Red lights, I wasn't going to get dinged. It completely changed my way of driving. And I always thought I was pretty smart on that stuff. No. When this is in there, it completely changes your mindset. So I did read a few things on how many accidents have been caused by these. And the insurance company, when they were interviewed on it, they wouldn't admit it. They said no, none. But when they dug into their records, they found out that the insurance company has paid out over $500,000 in claims due to this, they say. The driver of the car will say, well, I didn't want to get dinged on my insurance because he had this in. And that's why I got in a wreck. So, $500,000 paid out. Anyway, I can see why. because like I said, I've always drove really good, and this completely changed my habits of driving. I still got like 27 days or 30 days or something left on this. I pulled it. I refuse to drive with this anymore. I'm not going to get in a wreck and mess up my Jeep because some idiot wants to find out how fast I take off and how fast I stop. It's not worth it. You'll never get the 25% discount they say you can get. The only way you can get 25% discount, and I even had my agent, or not my, he was an agent. He wasn't my Safeco agent, but he was an agent. Tell me. He had a car, his second car. He plugged this in, turned the key on, activated it, turned the key off, never drove his car for 3 months. Got his 25% discount. And after reading a few things on the internet and different posts and stuff, I've seen a lot of people will do that. They just won't drive their car for 3 months and to get that big discount. Well, really, it's not that big a discount. On the average, right now, I think I'm down to 15 or 17%. And if I keep going, I'll probably get down to about 13, 14%. Well, saving a couple dollars, $10 a month, isn't worth it to jeopardize myself from getting in a wreck. I recommend anybody, if your agent, and I'm not sure, don't quote me on these either. I don't know. I know Safeco has it, and I know Progressive has it. And Progressive, they don't call theirs RightTrack. They call theirs something else. But they have it. And I'm not sure about how many other insurance companies have it or are getting it. I also heard, my agent told me that they're going to start putting a thing on cell phones. So you have an app on a cell phone that would basically do the same thing. Tell you where you are, how fast you're going, and all that other stuff. Yeah, I want them to know that. Crying out loud. So I recommend anybody that is thinking about this, steer away from it. Unless you don't care and just drive normal and take a bunch of dings and don't get no discount, and then maybe even have a possibility, like I said, I'm not sure, of even costing you more. I'm not going to take that chance. I'm getting rid of this right now. So anyway, I hope you learned something from this. If you have had one of these and you've experienced something that I have, put some comments down below. Let me know. If you have had one of these and really liked it and it worked out really good for you, also put some comments down below. I want to know. So let me know what you think. I know what I think. And like I said, my opinion, dangerous. All right. Thanks for watching. Later.